Today, we're going to discuss the EDCOM problems and solutions, or the problems encountered by EDCOM and the solutions or the proposed solutions to solve the problem. But before that, kung bago ka pa sa ating YouTube channel, please subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, paki-like na din at paki-share na din para makatulong ka sa iba. So this is EDCOM, the problem encounters and the solutions. So what is EDCOM? So what do you mean of EDCOM? Ano ba yan? So EDCOM, or the Congressional Commission on Education, is a special body established by the Philippine Congress to review and reform the country's education system. So ito yung EDCOM. Ito yung sila yung nagre-research what is the problems education sa Philippines, which is pinopropose nila yan sa Congress para makita or malaman kung ano yung mga solutions na pwedeng isolve yung problem na yon. So that is EDCOM. So EDCOM 1, which is from 1990 to 1991, which is the purpose is to evaluate the Philippine education system after the EDSA, People Power Revolution, and recommend long-term reform. And the outcome is the 1991 reform led to major reforms, including the creation of the current trifocal education system. So ito yung mga cover niya ng EDCOM 1, DepEd, which is the basic education or the Department of Education. Next is the CHED, which is the Commission on Higher Education, that is for sa mga college, the higher education. And for the TESDA, yun mga NC2, NC3, yun. So, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority for Technical Vocational System. The EDCOM 2 naman is nag-start siya from 2022 to 2025. So, the purpose of this is to conduct a comprehensive national assessment for the Philippine education sector in response to declining learning outcomes and a worsening education crisis. So, ito naman, binold naman itong educational or itong EDCOM 2 para masolusyonan yung mga problems na encountered in education. So, it mandates to evaluate the performance of the education system. It recommends policy, institutional, and structural reforms and address urgent issues such as learning poverty, poor quality, teacher quality, lack of resources, and governance inefficiencies. So, ito yung kanyang mga mandate. So, ito yung mga cover niya to solve such problems. So, the second Congressional Commission on Education, or EDCOM, has identified several critical challenges within the Philippine education system. So, these are the challenges. Madami mga challenges sa education, pero these are the top 10 na mga challenges na pwede mo ma-encounter, di ba? Personally, pwede mo ma-encounter if you are a teacher. So, major challenges identified by EDCOM 2. The first is the early childhood malnutrition and neglect. So, here, okay. So, for the second is the foundational learning deficits. And the third is the teacher workload and misalignment. And the textbook shortage. Infrastructure vulnerabilities. Sixth is the governance and coordination challenges. Low government spending on education. Overload K-12 curriculum. Limited access to technology and internet. Inaccessible education for children with disabilities. So these are the problems encountered by the EDCOM 2. Okay, so let's start discussing one by one. We have the early childhood malnutrition and neglect. So here, the issue here is only 25% of Filipino children receive adequate nutrition in their first 1,000 days, leading to stunting in 1 out of 4 children under 5 years old. So here, nakikita kasi nila na yung mga students is lack sila sa nutrition, diba? So that's why minsan nagiging stunting sila, diba? And of course, naapektuhan yung kanilang mental development, yung kung paano sila mag-interact sa school. So that is the first problem, of course. And the impact is the malnutrition during early childhood advancement affects cognitive, yes, and physical development, hindering school readiness. Yun. And the proposed solution here is enhance early childhood care and development. Yun. Which is, the action will be implement comprehensive nutrition programs and expand access to quality early childhood education. Ayun, mas maganda naman talaga na, like for example, mayroon mga projects or programs na mayroon mga feeding programs, which is masolusyonan ng itong problema. The goal is to improve school readiness and long-term educational outcomes. Okay, the next is the foundational learning deficits. So the issue here is a significant number of grade 3 students are 1 to 2 years behind curriculum expectations in reading and math. Yes, of course. Kasi minsan, kasi dati, grade 3 pa lang kasi marunong na kami, o grade 2 pa lang marunong kami sa multiplication and sa reading. So ngayon kasi medyo may nakikita ako, pero meron naman ng schools, meron namang students na nag-excel sila. Maganda yung kanilang development in terms of cognitive, which is ready na talaga sila. Pero there are some na mga students na hindi pa sila marunong mag-read and write and mag-count or in terms of math and reading. So which is, okay, so the impact here is the early learning gaps can lead to long-term academic struggles and reduce educational attainment. So the proposed solution here is to strengthen foundational learning. So the action will be prioritize literacy and numeracy programs in early grades and provide targeted intervention for struggling students. Yun. The goal is to ensure students attain essential skills by grade 3. Dapat naman talaga at grade 3, dapat marunong na silang mag-read and write and count, di ba? Kasi yun yung condition nila. Dapat yun yung fokusan ng mga skills nila or na dapat alam nila para at pagka grade 4, alam na nila mag-reading comprehension, alam na nila yung mga mas comprehensive pa or mas difficult pa na mga problems in terms of math. So yun. Next, for the problem 3, we have teacher or workload and misalignment. So the issue here is that teachers are burdened with administrative tasks, limiting their instructional time. Additionally, 62% of high school teachers teach subjects outside their specialization. Ayun, so dati kasi, pero ngayon kasi, yung mga administrative staff, nasolusyonan na yan ng DepEd. Like for example, nag-hire na sila ng mga administrative officers, administrative assistants, to ensure na yung mga teachers is magpo-focus sila sa kanilang teaching and learning. Ayun. So the impacts is these factors contribute to diminished teaching quality and student learning outcomes. Of course, kung mga teachers is mapofocus lang sila sa kanilang mga paperworks, of course, paano naman yung mga students, diba? And the proposed solutions here is to optimize teacher deployment and workload. The action is to align teachers' assignments with their areas of expertise and reduce administrative burdens through policy reforms. Yan, dapat naman talaga kung ano yung pinag-aaralan ng teacher na subject, dapat yun yung kanilang workload or yun yung kanilang load, diba? Or teaching load kasi yun yung hasang-hasa sila, diba? The goal is to enhance teaching effectiveness and job satisfaction. Yes, of course. So the fourth problem is textbook shortage. Yun. So the issue here is, as of January 2025, only 35 out of 94 textbook titles had been fully delivered to public schools. So the impact is lack of essential learning materials, hampers effective instruction and student learning. Kasi ngayon, alam naman natin like for example, if you're a teacher, di ba, hindi na tayo masyadong relay sa ating mga books, di ba? Minsan, doon na tayo sa ating internet, di ba? Doon na tayo sa ating search lang natin. Meron na tayong mga activities na available, di ba? So, which is, ngayon, problema pa din naman yung textbook shortage kasi nga kapag libro kasi, makikita mo talaga na tamang-tama yung content ng topic na yan kapag libro yung babasihan mo. Tama yung maituturo mo sa mga estudyante. The proposed solution here is improve learning material distribution. Yon. The action is to streamline textbook procurement and distribution processes to ensure timely delivery. Yan. And the goal is to provide students with necessary learning resources. Okay, next problem we have infrastructure's vulnerabilities. Yon. So the issue here is natural disasters such as typhoons have led to significant school disruptions, with some regions losing up to 48% of school days. Yon. The impact is the frequent interruptions, exacerbate learning losses, and affect educational continuity. Yon. Which is, kapag nagtataypo naman talaga, suspended yung klase, di ba? And minsan, ginagawang evacuation center yung ating mga schools. So, therefore, suspended yung klase. So the proposed solutions here is build resilient educational infrastructure. So the action is invest in disaster resilient school buildings and develop contingency plans for learning during emergencies. And the goal is to minimize educational disruptions caused by natural disasters. Yun. Next, the sixth problem is governance and coordination challenges. So the issue here is the multiple interagency bodies, the DepEd, the CHED, and the TESDA operates with overlapping mandates, leading to inefficiencies. So the impact is the fragmented governments hinders cohesive policy implementation and educational reform. So minsan kasi dapat yung tatlong, the CHED, DepEd, and the TESDA, dapat kasi yung kanilang mga subjects, dapat they are connected to each other. Dapat, like for example, kung gusto ng galing sa TESDA to college, dapat credited yung mga units sana. Yun yung mga problems na-encounter. Okay, the proposed solution here is to enhance governance and interagency coordination. Yun. Clarify roles and responsibilities among educational agencies and establish unified policies. Yun, dapat isang policy lang sila, di ba? Or dapat connected sila. The goal is to achieve cohesive and efficient education system management. Yan. Next is the low government spending on education. This is the seventh problem. The issue here is the Philippines spends less on education per student compared to many neighboring countries. But ngayon, madami na yung ating funds or madami na tayong education na spend sa Department of Education or sa education. So there is limited funding for classroom teachers and learning materials and technology. Ayan, proposed solutions. Advocate for higher national and local government budgets for education and improve budgeting transparency and efficiency to ensure funds are used wisely. Ayun. So next problem is the overloaded K-12 curriculum. So the K-12 curriculum is too broad and tries to cover too many topics. Yun ata yung problema ng iba. So students are expected to learn too much, which reduce mastery of core subjects like reading, math, and science. Pero minsan, depende naman yun kasi sa teacher. Kasi kapag yung teacher marunong or alam on how to pagpasunod ba, the connectivity of the topics, diba? Spiral lang tayo ngayon eh. Yan. Proposed solution. Review and revise the curriculum to focus on essential skills. Yan. Especially literacy and numeracy. And streamline learning competencies for better depth over breadth. Prioritize foundational skills in early grades. Yan, of course. So, of course, sabi ko nga kanina, sa early grades, dapat focus lang tayo. So, what is kinakailangan talaga as grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Yan. Next problem is the limited access to technology and internet. So many public schools lack access to computers, tablets, or reliable internet. This makes digital learning difficult, especially in rural areas. Yun ngayon. Diba, there are some kasi ng mga bukid, diba, malayo, hindi sila nabibigyan ng mga laptops, internet connection, which is maganda naman talaga kapag mayroong internet connection kasi as a teacher, mas mapapadali yung work mo kasi like for example, may mga activities na gusto mong ibigay sa mga students, punta ka lang sa internet connection, sa iyong internet, search ka lang and then download, meron ka ng activity, di ba? The proposed solutions here is invest in digital infrastructure like Wi-Fi, computer or computers training, or trainings for the teachers. Yan. Partner with LGUs and private sectors to bridge the digital divide. Provide training for teachers in digital literacy. Yun, dapat naman talaga. Dapat kasi, mayroon kasi mga teachers na matanda na. So, dapat mayroong mga trainings on how to use computers. Next, the last problem is inaccessible education for children with disabilities. Yes, tama talaga. Dapat, kahit sa mga stage or sa mga buildings, dapat talaga mayroong mga ma-access na mga PWDs. Kapag meron silang mga wheelchairs, kaya nilang magpunta sa another na story na building. The issue here is children with disability face limited access to inclusive education, special need teachers and facilities. Yes, of course. So, dapat focusan din yan. Next, the proposed solution here is to train more special education SPED teachers. Yun. Upgrade schools to be disability friendly, promote inclusive policies across all education level. Yun. So, these are the top 10 problems encountered by EDCOM and the proposed solutions. Ayun. So, why is EDCOM important? EDCOM plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of the Philippine education. Through evidence-based analysis and legislative support, it aims to correct systemic weaknesses and improve the quality and equity of education for all Filipinos.